Hello, this is Sharka Wild and I absolutely love Chipping Norton and surrounding areas. Today I am here with Lizzie Pickering, a local resident of Lynham. Hello Lizzie.
Hi Sharka.
Good to see you today.
And you?
And thank you so much for meeting me today.
It's a pleasure.
I wanted to ask you, Lizzie, how long have you lived in Lynham?
I've lived here for 26 years now.
Wow, very long time, very long time. And may I ask what brought you to Lynham?
Well, we lived at Charlbury at Cornbury Park originally, having moved out of London. So we rented one of the gatehouses at Cornbury Park for 4 years and then came here. We had a son, Harry, who had disability needs. He was in a powered wheelchair. And the cottage we rented was not suitable for wheelchairs. And then we managed to find this barn conversion that was perfect for wheelchairs and had a flat garden. So that's why we moved here.
So you moved here, yes. And what do you like about Lynham and just generally the areas, not just Lynham, but obviously all other villages, Chipping Norton and whole
I love the sense of community, I think. Having a child with a disability, it was really imperative that we had community, and we had so much support in those years. I had 3 children under the age of 4. They eventually all attended the local primary school, Kingham Primary, and when my son was very ill and eventually died, we had such incredible support from the community around, from everybody. And then people fundraising for equipment for him in his lifetime. And then I went to work for Helen House, the children's hospice, and people helped with fundraising. You know, we just had this sense of being supported all the way through, and I've never lost that. You know, my whole family has had community here, and that's, for me, that's the most important thing.
And that's what I've seen here myself since I moved to this area. People just look after one another, and this sense of community is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And obviously, because of that sense of community, I know you, how much you are giving back to the community and to people around. Would you tell me a little bit about actually what you do and where you can help the local community? Because I know that you are a filmmaker, you are a grief investigator, and tell me a little bit about this.
So I used to work in TV production and films, and these days I work more producing podcasts for companies and interviewing staff about their experiences. And I also give grief guidance. So through being at the Children's Hospice for many years and my lived experience of grief over the death of my son Harry, I've ended up sort of unofficially helping a lot of people through grief just because I'd been there myself, so I was able to help other bereaved parents. And I've developed my own grief guidance now, not just for bereaved parents, but now I give talks to companies to help their staff survive grief. I've had amazing counselling and therapy over the years in grief guidance, but I don't think everybody wants to unpick their whole lives when someone dies. Yes. They want to know, how do I survive this pain? Yes. How do I go back to work? And how do I talk to people about it when I can barely talk about it myself?
Yes.
So that's what I've developed really through need, through seeing people's needs. So I talk to companies, often on Zoom or in person. If somebody dies at a company, which obviously was happening a lot through COVID, I go in and help the team around that person, help them to support each other when someone's died at work. Or if someone has been through a major bereavement at work, either had a child die or their partner die, someone very significant to them, I help their work colleagues know how to talk to them and sort of help translate their grief a little bit. And then from that, the companies often will provide one-to-one work. So I go in and give one-to-one work with anybody that needs it, really. It can be anyone in a company or individuals. I help individuals too. A lot of that work has been on Zoom, but I'll also see people in person where they want that.
Yes. Lizzie, it's just incredible that the community around Chipping Norton has got somebody like you, and I just wish that everybody could hear this interview so people know where to reach out. I personally know how debilitating grief is, and what you are doing is just incredible. Is very selfless and very giving. And
Shaka, well, you know because you've been through it, that it's hard going back to work, isn't it?
Yes,
when you're suffering from grief, and
yes.
as you know, grief doesn't end. People like to think that we get better from it, but we don't. We learn to live with it.
Yes.
And so it's trying to help people learn to live with it well.
Yes.
And enjoy their lives.
And
again.
enjoy their lives and accept what comes, the good and bad. Exactly.
Yeah. And make the most of every second in this lovely
Exactly.
community.
Exactly. So, Lizzie, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, how will they find you? Where will they find you? Could you share with us some details?
Yes, I mean probably LinkedIn is a good place to find me, Lizzie Pickering, and I have a work Instagram